Hi, Maria. Hi, Kelly. Hi. How are you ladies today? We'll give it a minute or so and then we'll start. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. The mat placement is okay? Can you see it all right? Okay. Let's see. A sec. Okay. It's 8:30, so let's just begin. Good morning, Michelle. And we're going to start, okay? Thank you. Start sitting tall, supremely still. Close the eyes. Bring the attention within. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. All the answers can always be found within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. So let's just start off with a mantra that means peace, Om Shanti. So it's calm response. Let's begin. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om. mantra for purification now to purify the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. You can do it with me if you know it. Otherwise, you can just listen to the sounds and know the purification of the grounds, the space, and all the psychic channels are being purified. Om Pavitraha Pavitrawa Sawa Vashtanga Topiwa Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabahya Pyantraha Sachi. Let's come to standing. Let's start off by charging the body with the earth's energy. Stand with your feet about 10 inches apart. Raise the arms up high. Like a V, the palms are facing in. As I count to 8, imagine you're bringing the earth's energy right up through the body to the fingertips. We hold the breath for a count to 6 at the fingertips, so all the attention is there. Exhale, back down to the soles of the feet. Imagine the whole body being flushed by that charge. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the fingertips, the breath and the attention. 4, 5, 6. Exhale all the way back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, bring the energy up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the fingertips now. Exhale down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, bring the energy up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the fingertips, all the attention there. 5, 6. Exhale down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down now. Now we're going to breathe for inner healing. So this breath just cures the body of all the illnesses, whether it be in the mental, physical, or emotional plane. Bring the arms out in front. The wrists at the height of the elbows, shoulders I should say. So as I breathe, as I count for 8, you start from the heart, you breathe up to the crown, hold the breath at the crown, exhale out through the arms for count of 8, imagine all the impurities leaving with the breath. Inhale, heart to the crown, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, holding the attention at the crown and the breath. 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heart to the crown. Breathe in. Imagine the healing energy moving up. 6, 7, 8. Holding at the crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. Expel all the toxins out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Heart to the crown. Breathe in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding at the crown. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the arms down. Let's continue with the physical exercises now. Remember to move in a way that is in accordance to the condition of the body, not to a place that you go to pain. That's not what you want to offer up. Move in a way that allows the breath to be steady and even. Don't worry too much about the breath. Start to roll the head now. Just move the body and the breath will follow. Just use the breath to be the guide for you to remain nice and fluid in your movements. And so they come with ease. And roll the head in the other direction. Good. Now swing the arms. Try to get the arms behind the ears. Now cross the chest, squeeze tight, and then throw the arms back. Alternate the cross each time. Good. Now we're going to reach the arms up over the head. Throw the body down on the exhale. Nice light swing. Feel a nice release of energy as you go down. Last one. Just stay down for a moment. Lullaby and stop shaking. Then from here, press the hands down into the ground, lift the heels, come into a squat. Lower the seat. As you inhale, raise the seat up. Exhale, pull it back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. And lift, drop. Keep the arms straight. Push directly into the ground. Up, down. Inhale, up, down. Two more. Up, down. Last time, up and down. Lower the heels and then keep your head heavy as you roll your way back up. Shake out the wrists as fast as you can. And up and down. Flap the hands so fast you can't even see the fingers move. Good. Now we're going to drop the arms by the side and just swing from side to side. Allow the arms to hit the body any which way. Start to pick up the speed. And go as fast as you can. Shake it out. Start to slow it down again. And come into stillness. One more. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend. Try to keep the side body free of wrinkles on the right side. And bend. Up. And bend. Last time, inhale, come up. This time, hold the breath. See if you can take it a little bit deeper into the bend. Push the ribs out of the left side of the body, the hips to the left as well. All the while, the right side of the body remains smooth as possible. And exhale, come up. Right arm up. Bend to the left. Inhale, coming back up. Move gracefully like grass blowing in the wind, coming up. Exhale, bend. And up again. And bend. Last time, inhale, come up. Hold the breath so you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And exhale, release. Good, so let's make our way to the top of the mat now. Join the hands at the heart center. Close the eyes for a moment. Come back to that mindset of offering up the practice. Do the practice because it must be done as a divine duty to all beings. Imagine all your benefits being transmitted to everybody, everywhere, and everything, everywhere. Let's move together as one to stay in that collective mind. Surya Namaskar, sun salutations. Reach the arms up over the head. Pull down over the legs. Bend your knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. The right foot steps back into lunge. Lower the knee down. And then bring the chest forward and up. Come into high plank. Lower down knees, chest and chin. Turn the hands out a little bit so you can keep your elbows close to the body and drop your chest down between the hands. And then pull with your hands. Drag the body through to cobra. Chest forward, head back. Roll over the toes, back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Right foot steps to the hands. If it doesn't make it there, you can lower the back knee down. Bring the right hand forward to assist the foot to come between the hands. Then bring the feet together. Press the body into your legs, head down. Come all the way up. Stretch the front of the body, arms behind the head if you can. Hands pat to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Nice long frontal body, fold down. Again, bend your knees as much as you need to come make the pose accessible, the hands to the ground. Left foot back into a lunge, into the plank next. Lower down knees, chest and chin. Elbows close to the body. Pull in the backward steps of your hands as the body propels itself forward. Roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Left foot steps between the hands, sink down through the seat, feet together. Pull the body into the legs. Come all the way up. Hands back to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Go down. Right foot back. Try to keep the rhythm nice and steady. The rhythm of the breath. And then the body will move fluidly and gracefully. And back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps between the hands. Land the foot softly. Ever so light foot falls. Feet together. Bow down. Come up. Hands back to the heart. Watch the body moving in your mind like you're just the witness, watching it all unfold. Left foot leads into a lunge, into the plank, and down. Glide forward, and take it back. You're coming from a place of devotion. This is when the transformation starts to kick in. Fold the body in towards the legs. Lose all expectation. Just see the practice as an act of divine service. Reach the arms up. Go down. Right leg back. Into a lunge. Into the plank next. And down. Bhujangasana, cobra. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps between the hands. Left foot joins. Keep moving according to the condition of the body. Come up. Return home. Left side, imagine moving together as one with all beings. Left foot back. Tap into that energy. Tap into the divine qualities of all those surrounding you. Come forward and up into cobra. And back. And this is how you cultivate compassion. Left foot forward. Feet together. Uttanasana. Come up to standing. Return home. One last time. One last cycle first the right side. Go down. Right leg back. Into the plank. Just do your best, modify as you need to. Glide forward. Into the cobra. Just watch your body moving your mind, doing its best. And then the body will, chances are, will do exactly what you see executing in your mind. Forward fold. Come up. Hands back to the heart. Last time, close off the cycle. Come down. Left foot back. And feet together. Down we go. And pull the body forward. Return, downward facing dog. Left foot steps. Followed by right foot. Bow to the legs. Express humbleness. Coming up. And surrender. Back home. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, remove all fatigue, all expectations, all attachments to the results. Release the arms now. Hinge forward. Bend the knees. You can bring your body right down onto the thighs. Hold the opposite elbows behind the knees so you can hug the body tight to the legs. And use the body to push into the legs to send the seat up and the legs back. If you're more flexible, you just try to make it so the seat is right over the heels. And you keep the connection of the body with your legs. If you need to bend your knees, go ahead and bend your knees. If you feel like you can, bring the nose between your shins and keep on pulling the arms down the backs of the legs towards the ground. Be steady in all the poses as much as you can to try to find stillness in the body that eventually comes into the mind as well.
Now release the hands, bring them in front of the feet. Lift up the heels. Shift your weight forward so your shoulders come over the fingertips. Keep the arms nice and strong, but pressing into the ground with your hands. And rest the shins on the backs of the arms. The knees are right in the underarms. If you feel comfortable, allow yourself to sit on your arms. Bend your elbows a little bit more if you need to make yourself lower and to make your arms look like a shelf for your legs to sit on. If you're more proficient, of course, you keep your legs straight as in crane pose. If you don't want your feet to leave the ground, you just stay with your toes rooted down into the ground. Good. From here, if you know the exit into chaturanga, go ahead. You can just fly your feet back and then land on the belly. Flatten out the toes. Inhale, come up a little bit. Bring the forearms forward underneath the shoulders. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Now tug at the floor of the arms. Propel the chest forward. Be very still, Neil. He's still here. Imagine you're made of stone just like the Sphinx. Now really bear down with your lower body, your hips, your legs, and your arms. Push into the hands, now lift the chest up higher, keep the arms straight, the head back, make sure you don't lose your neck in the process. Keep your shoulders down away from the ears and the chest wide by pressing the shoulders back a little bit. If this is easy for you, walk your hands closer, one hand's length distance closer. Come up a little bit longer. And maybe if you want to keep on going, go ahead. Walk your hands towards the body until they're right beside the hips. Try to bring the feet together and the legs together as well for cobra. Keep the hips on the ground. One more breath. Push into the hands, send the chest further forward and further up. Exhale, tuck the chin in. Bend the toes under, make your way back into downward facing dog. You try to get your seat as far back in your downward facing dog, your hands as far forward, you have a long line between those 2 points. And as you exhale, just soften the area behind the heart. Bounce a little bit. Work at getting your arms and your underarms close to the ground, the top of the head as well. If you can bring your head to rest on the ground for those who are more flexible. Your belly comes towards the thighs. Bounce a little bit more. Try to get the head to come down all the way. Then look to the hands. Bring the left foot forward to the hands. Land it softly. Back knee comes down. Flatten out the toes. Inhale, come upright. Pull the body right up. Exhale, sink down. Lower the seat so you're sitting close to the front heel. Raise your arms up. You can keep your hands apart or join the hands together in Kali Mudra and then just rock back and forth. Shoulders coming up and down. Side, forward, back. And then pull the arms straight up. Try not to bend the elbows. Think of the shape of crescent moon. And bring the arms back as the chest lifts. You can bring the head back if you feel comfortable, if it's not too hard on the neck. Inhale, keep rising up out of the hips. Exhale, go deeper into the bend. Advanced practitioners, you have variations such as lifting the right foot up. Imagine you're squeezing the sock behind your knee. And then you can try to bring your toes to the head. Breaking the pose, if you have the foot to the head, bring it back down. Press into the front knee and come upright. Turn to the right. Arms out to the side, Sukha Virabhadrasana, shoulders down, arms long. And then from here, keep the arms long as you come down with the left hand. To the inside of the foot, the right arm comes up, Sukha Trikonasana. Straight line from hand to hand. I'll do it this way so you can see, press the right hip open. If you want, take a bind. Bring the right arm behind the back. You can take a half bind if that's a little bit easier. Just slip your hand just beside your waist and press into your thigh. Push the right shoulder back. If you have more mobility, lower your body down, shoulder to the height of the knee. left arm comes underneath the leg, join the hands behind the seat, just beside the seat. Take a bind. Lock your fingers together. Bring your right shoulder back. Option for more advanced practitioners, come forward into that front foot, bend the toes under, lift the back knee up off the ground and shift your weight back into the right hip. Keep the right leg, or try to get the right leg straight. If you can't get the left knee to straighten, that's okay. Keep pressing the shoulder against the knee. And pull the right shoulder back as fast as you can. Eventually, however, you try to straighten out both legs. Break the pose, release the bind if you have it, hands to the ground, and lower the back knee down. Inhale, come upright. Raise your right arm up, left hand comes to the seat, pulling it down, right hand to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, turn the body, look over your left shoulder. Your chest should be facing along the edge of the mat. Now, if this is easy, you can take the elbow to the outside of the thigh. Press the hands together. Actively push the left hand down to right. See how my body raises up higher than the thigh, and then it has more room to spin. Keep pushing into the hands. Drive the left hip back, head forward, and just try to turn your chest towards the sky. Those who have a bind, go ahead. Slide your body in, elbows underneath the leg, and then just snake your arm through between the legs if you can, and then join the hands. Left hand over the back. Other variations, go ahead. Now we're going to release the bind, come back into Easy Warrior 2 and press right up. Slide the right foot back, come into Full Warrior. Shoulders down, strong lines. Interlace the fingers behind the back, pull the hands down, lift through the chest, bring the head back. And here we're going to dive forward in the space beside the left foot. Come down, the shoulders should try to come down on the inside of the knee, forehead down towards the ground. Keep trying to get your seat to lower to about the level of the knee, so you can get eventually the head to come right on the ground. Humble warrior. Inhale, come up halfway. Bring your hands down onto the ground, hips and shoulders facing forward, and spin so you're on the back, the heels up on the back foot, and just rock back and forth. Trying to send your hips down nice and low. If your shoulder is already below the knee, bring the right forearm down and then the left. Get the seat to sink a little bit more and eventually rest in a pose. Bring the knee down, flatten out the toe. Continue to try to get your chest down like a lizard, close to the earth. And fix the gaze just like a lizard. If you're very flexible, bring your chest on the ground. Some of you might know the bind. You swing your left arm around the outside and then thread it in between your thigh and your body. And then you join your hands over the back, just close to the left hip. Telescope the chest a little bit further forward. Exhale, heavy through the hips again. And then come back onto the hands. Pull the hip back, left hip, make your way into pigeon. Lower the left thigh down on the ground. Should be around the same line as the hip. Okay, so let's come up high, bring your fingertips on either side of the body, beside the hips. Come up nice and tall, stretch the front of the body, extend the right toes back. Now keep the length as you come down. Keep the left side of the seat rigid, and then make your way down. Stop wherever it's appropriate. You can stay higher. Try to keep the back straight. If you're more flexible, maybe you can bring your forearms and your fists on top of another, rest your forehead on the fists, or flat out on the ground. yourself in a pose. Again, in this pose, you're expressing humbleness with your head down. One more breath. Telescope the chest and head forward. Creep the fingers forward. Exhale. Feel heaviness in the hips and the lower body. Then make your way back up. From here, just sit a little bit more and bring more weight on the left side of the seat. Make sure it doesn't become uprooted. And if you can bring the right foot up. Now some of us might just stay back here and just press the foot in the hand. This is okay. If you're more flexible, you can see if you can press the foot toward the hip. The knees a little bit to the outside of the mat, towards the outside of the mat. So that when the foot comes down, it comes down in front of the body a little bit. Now from here, we're going to come perhaps into swan pose. So push the toes into the forearm, bring the forearm straight up. See where my fingers are, they're right beside the ear. Lean a little bit towards the foot. Left arm might be able to come around the other side of the head, the left side. And if you can, you take your fingers. And then the last action is to press the toes into the arm and try to lengthen the arms. All the while turning the chest forward, keeping the side body again as free from wrinkles as possible. These are all options, okay? So work to your level that's appropriate. Getting ready to come out of the pose by bringing the foot again close to the shoulder and then letting the foot go. Press into the hands, all the way back into child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Send the body forward into cobra. Imagine a snake moving through the grass. Try to imitate its movements. Come up tall and supreme. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Vasisthasana, side plank. Moving the left hand towards the right, spin on your feet so the toes are facing back corner of the mat, and then keep your hips high. Make sure you don't collapse into the shoulder. Keep the arm fully extended, your shoulders a little bit behind the hand. And then from here, side plank. Lift the hips away from the ground. If you want, you can bring your arm over the head. If you need a modification, just lower the left shin down, or alternatively, if it's your wrist, come right down onto your forearm. Okay. Just hold it for a little bit longer if you can. And then push into your left hand, keep your hips high so that you can turn. Come back into downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Soften again. Go right to the other side. Move the right hand towards the left. Keep your hips high like you're doing a sideways downward dog. Spin on your feet, toes facing the back, either opposite corner, the right corner this time. And lift up. Modify as you need to. Or alternatively, just allow your breath to carry into the pose that you're imagining in your mind. Bury your mind deep in heart, offer it up, and then the body moves with more steadiness and ease. Now getting ready to return, pushing into the right hand and right foot. Land your way back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower the forearms down onto the ground, press the palms together. Push the hips back as far as you can and then come forward flat. So the chin comes roughly over the fingertips. Pull all the way back, feel the navel hollowing out. Exhale, come flat. And all the way back. Push against the floor with the forearms, come forward. Imagine doing a snowplow with your arms. Keep the pressure from against the floor nice and strong and forward. Last time. Inhale, pull all the way back. Exhale, come forward. Next time you go back, come back into your downward facing dog. And lift the right leg up and send it immediately between the hands. Back knee comes down, flatten out the toe. Inhale, come upright. Exhale, drop the seat all the way forward. Raise your arms up. And again, move the shoulders a little bit. Try to get the shoulders flexible so you can get eventually the arms behind the ears. Push the chest forward. Make sure the elbows are not bent. A crescent moon doesn't have any kinks in the line. Keep the arms straight and offer up the pose. Do the same variation as you did the first time. Again, advanced practitioners, if you want, and try to bring up the back foot and see if the toes will find the head. Keep your seat low so that you can keep the balance. Good. Bring the back foot down. Make your way back out of the pose. Press all the way back up. Move the right heel in underneath the right knee. Turn to the left. Arms out to the side. And then Sukha Trikonasana. Right hand down, left arm up. Visualize a pose in your mind. Try to make it, your body come into that same expression. If you took a bind the first time, try it again on this side. Left shoulder moves back. Eventually, those who want to try to come into bound triangle, bend the toes under, lift the knee up, and just try to get equal weight in both legs. Try to eventually get your right leg straight. If you can't, just push your shoulder against the knee anyways, and try to pull the left shoulder back. Get ready to break the pose, release the bind, bring the hands back down to the ground on the inside of the foot and lower the back knee down. Inhale, come upright, left arm up, into the twist, Padavita Parsvakonasana. Stay with your basic, looking over the back shoulder, guiding more length in the lower back, or go deeper, elbow to the outside of the knee. And if you find your hands are right beside your shoulder, push down into the bottom hand so the body comes up higher. The center chest should eventually land right behind the thumbs. Take the right shoulder back. Option to go into bind again. If you don't get the instructions because you're a little bit newer to the pose, just don't worry. Just keep to the basic postures and modify as you need to. Now we're going to come back, swivel all the way around, press into the toes. You can lift your knee up off the ground and send your left foot back a little bit more. Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Shoulders down, exude confidence and power. And then take your hands behind the back, humble warrior. Pull the hands down, lift the chest, bring the head back. And then come forward, hinge at the hips, go to the left so that your shoulder doesn't just get caught on the knee and stays there. Slip it to the inside of the knee if you can, and then you can come down lower. If this is too much, too tiring, lower the left knee down to the ground if you like. Pull the seat back. Inhale, come up halfway. And bring your hands to the ground. Hips and shoulders forward. Rocking back and forth. Getting lower with each pass. Eventually resting the pose by just lowering the knee, flattening out the toes. Continue to try to get your hips to come down as low as possible. And then eventually the rest of the body will follow. Try to get the chest on the ground or near the ground, and fix the gaze just like the lizard. Roll the right side of the tail under. Try to imagine the sit bone coming right down onto the ground. One more breath, telescope the head forward, reach back to the toes, exhale again, sink your weight into the ground. Then you exhale, come back onto the hands. Lift up as much as you need to bring your hips back. Hips over the back knee. Left knee in this case. Make your way into pigeon. Staying upright for a moment to just find length in the body. Inhale, rise up. And keep the length as you move forward. Keep the right side of the seat pressing down. And then come down to your extent. Stay high if you need to again. Or go right flat on the ground if your body allows you to. And no expectations, no judgment if the body doesn't quite go there yet. Just keep practicing, do your best. And imagine all the best, the energy and the abilities coming to you, and eventually they will perhaps settle into you. And then start to walk your way back, up, right. Turn a little bit, more weight on the right side so you can lift the back foot up. And you can either just stay here and rest, push the foot into the crook of the arm or the hand if you need a little bit more, if you can't quite get the foot close to the body. And if you're more flexible, see if you can push the foot right down beside the hip. If you're able to do this, you could probably do swan. So bring the toes up, press them against the lower arm. Fingers are pointing upwards, close to the ear. Right arm comes around the right side of the head. And so you can take the bind just close to the ear and then press the foot into the arm. Send the arms back a little bit more. Just try to straighten the arms. Turn the chest forward. Think of the graceful lines of a swan. The long neck, the curved neck, and try to make the shape in your body. Break the pose. Bring the foot close to the shoulder first so that you can let the foot down gently. Plant the hands and come back into child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slide your way forward, all the way up into cobra. Lift up through the heart, bring the head back towards the seat. Remember, you can stay lower, stay on the forearms if you need to. Modify accordingly to your condition. And back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come forward to plank, lower down onto the knees. So demonstrate a few different options for Vasisthasana now. As always, the modification, keep your shin on the ground and just try to press your hips as much as possible. You can raise the top leg up if you want to get more balance. If you want, take the foot behind and take hold of the foot. So those are the lower, the options that are a bit more entry level. If you want to come into the side plank and stay there, you can. Or slide the toes back, press the toes into the ground, and lift up. Try to get your chest up nice and high. Now if your hips are up and the left foot is flat on the ground, make sure the left base of the big toe is down. Arm is fully extended. You might be able to take up the right knee. Hold the knee. Eventually, if you're more flexible, you can take hold of the toes. Okay? Keep your hips high like you're doing a wheel pose. Same feeling. Come back down. So remember, you have to have lots of weight in your hand and a foot and your hips up high. Let's give it a try. Come into your downward facing dog. Okay, I'll guide you through it now. Slide your left hand towards the right. Start to spin your feet towards the long edge of the mat. The toes are about 45-degree angles. And then really press the big base of the big toe into the mat. If you want, slide your right toes back and dig the toes into the ground. Flip your hips and chest to look up. If you want to release your leg up, go ahead, or stay where you're at. Now, to move back from the pose, you smear your left hand into the mat to keep your hips high to return to downward facing dog. Take a breath here, breathe in, breathe out. All fatigue and all struggle, take a moment to picture what you're about to do in your mind and play it out in your body. Right hand moves towards the left, spin your feet, toes pointing to the back corner of the mat. Lift up your hips, and then if you want, slide your left toes back, press them into the ground, and try to get your hips up nice and high. Keep your right arm nice and extended so you don't fall into your shoulder. And if you want, bring the left knee up to the chest, and then it might be easier from there to take the foot. Release, bring the toes back down, you reverse the whole thing. Smear the right hand into the mat, keep your hips high so you can flip around and come back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, option here, take a few jumps, lift up the heels, bend the knees, keep your chest with your thighs. So option here is to really press into the ground. As you come up, try not to donkey kick. If you can, hover a little bit. Okay, so you do this 5 times. If that's not appealing to you, you can just draw your seat back, come into a low squat, and come forward. So you never leave, the feet never leave the ground. You come forward, and you propel yourself up, round your back, shoulders over the fingertips. Okay, so your option to do one or the other 5 times. Round your back, hollow out the navel. Good. Alright, then land back in downward facing dog. Look to the hands. You can either spring forward to the hands or walk your feet to the hands. Any which way. Lower the seat to about the line of the knees. Bring your arms forward. Imagine you're sitting in a chair. Your backs of your shins are nice and straight. Squeeze the legs together. Raise the arms up. Close the eyes. Be fierce in the pose. Feel the lower body working and engaging, the core working as well. Feel any heat. The mind is completely unaffected. It's just watching it all. Undisturbed. Now come all the way up to standing. Interlace the fingers, press the heels, your palms up, and really pull up, press up, and lift up the heels. Push into the mounds of the toes. If you fall, just come right back up again. Good. Lower the heels down. Bring your hands back onto your seat. Pull down on the seat, separate your feet. It's about the width, so the toes are pointing outside the mat or on the outside of the mat. From here you can bend your knees if you like, so your knees come a little bit beyond your toes. And then from here, you pull down on the seat, sink your hips forward, and then pull down on the seat, and then eventually keep pushing down into the feet, all corners of the feet, and you try to eventually straighten your legs. Roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards, bring the head back if you feel comfortable. So your hips are nice and forward, eventually your legs are straight. Those of you who want to can slide your hands, walk them down the backs of the legs. Some of you might be able to get your hands all the way down to the heels. Keep rolling the thighs out, rolling the shins in. Bend, keep your knees bent if you need to. Coming back, if your hands are on the legs, walk them back up the backs of the legs, press into the seat, pull down and come right back up. Separate your feet, so the feet are parallel now, heels a little bit wide in the toes. Take your hands into hip crease, come forward into into a pike position, body level to the ground, and then hands to the ground in front. Slide your hands back, fingertips behind the heels if you can. And then see if you can pull the head down towards the ground. Eventually you want to try to make it so that your body's right between your legs and your fingers are behind the heels. head down on the ground. Advanced practitioners, press into your hands. You might be able to come right up into a headstand, so straddle up. You bring your feet out to the side and come up. If you don't know how to do this, don't try it. Just stay in the basic pose. Good. And then come back down. Circle your feet down. Land them in the same place as before, right beside your hands. Inhale, come up halfway. And then bring your hands to your hips. Press into your hips and come up. Good. Bring your feet together. Okay, so we want to stay safe in our practice. If you're not used to doing some of these poses, then I suggest that you just maybe watch and keep watching, and then at some point when we get back together, then you can try it. But for the time being, if you don't feel safe, listen to your intuition. Okay, so next we're going to do some balance poses. We're going to try a different pose this time. So we're going to stand on your left foot first, bring the right knee up in towards the chest, and bring the knee up into the body. If you want, you can, let me try it again. You just allow your shoulders to fall back a little bit. Bring your hips forward, lean back a little bit if you can. Push the belly towards the thigh. Coming back up and set the foot down. Do the other foot now. Press into the right foot, lift the left knee up, pull the knee up towards the chest, and bend the standing leg a little bit. Hips forward, allow the chest to go forward and the shoulders go back. Just keep in mind you're trying to press your belly into your thigh. Allow your shoulders to come back. Coming back upright, set the foot down. This pose is a little bit challenging, so it's different options, okay? If you have lots of soreness in the lower back, or your lower back is weak, then you just stay with this pose, okay? I'll give you, you just stay with this modification. Otherwise, if you feel comfortable, you take your hands to the seat, you lean back, and you see if you can bring your right knee up and extend the leg. Eventually you want to have your body flat like a table. You look towards your toes, then you can keep your hands in front of your chest. If you're more balanced, take your arms out to the side. Okay, let's give that a try. Build it nice and slow. Just be patient. And again, support your back the whole time if you want. Keep your hands on the seat. And then you can just stay with your knee up, and you don't have to extend your leg. You can just stay like this, okay? Eventually you extend your leg. It requires lots of power and concentration. Coming back up. Close your eyes, breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Take a moment to just visualize yourself in a pose, holding without effort, any effort at all. And see if the body will obey. So let's try it again. Place your hands on the seat. Start with your knees a little bit bent and bring the left knee up. Take the shoulders back. If this is already giving you enough, just stay there. Now really push your hands into the seat. Try to extend your leg and just really engage your core. Maybe bring your hands in front of the chest. This is a little bit easier. Or take your arms out to the side. Imagine you're lying on a table. Okay? Good. Just do your best. Then, going to make our way out to the pose. Try to come out gracefully. Alright, so next we're going to come down onto the ground. Come to the front of the mat. Bring your arms forward. Keep your shoulders over the hips if you can as you come down. So as you come down, you tuck the tailbone, you engage your core. Imagine you're sliding down a wall. Try not to bring your shoulders forward, and to bring weight into the back of the foot, the heel, the base of the toes. You can continue to come down steadily without moving forward too much with your shoulders. Good. Once your seat is close to the ground, just bring your hands down and extend your legs, lie on the back. Take a deep breath in. Once you're on the back, exhale. Imagine you're fainting. So imagine the whole body becoming recharged. Inhale again. Through the skin, imagine beams of light and energy coming into the body. Exhale, send it everywhere you need it throughout the body. Arms over the head. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come to seated. If it's too difficult to sit with your legs in front, just roll onto your side and come up. So Baba Vajrasana. Hold the left leg back. If it's not uncomfortable for the knee, bring the right knee in. If this is not doable, you can bring the right, keep the right knee, left knee in front, and just put the foot on the outside of the right hip. So, just demonstrate with the left knee back first, and then bring the knee into the shoulder, and just push the heel out in front of the knee. Now, for those who are more flexible, Crown Chasana, bring the legs straight up to the air. Try to keep the body tall. Sometimes the body tends to slouch down and fall into the hips. Rise up tall instead. Think of a heron pose, a heron that has long lines all the way throughout the body. The beak, the wings, the legs, everything. And bring it into the pose. Tap into its qualities. Imitate to the best extent that you can. This is just a warm up. Now bend the foot, bend the knee again, lean back. So when your foot comes down onto your thigh, it's close to the hip. If there's no resistance in your knee, pull the heel in, tuck it into the hip crease, so you can come into lotus. If the knee doesn't come all the way down, place something underneath the knee. If it's way away from the ground, you can press the foot on the inside of the left thigh. Other option, of course, with your foot in front, heels in a root, and the toes are just across, touching the left knee. Okay? So if you have a bind, if you want to take a bind, you may turn the body to the right, swing the right arm around the body, and then use the other hand to pull the hand forward if you need to find the foot. Or take a strap, wrap it around the foot, or take your clothes. Press the left backhand against the outer right knee. Inhale, push the lower back in. Exhale, turn to the right. Now initiate the twist from the hips. Just try to get as much rotation through the hips, the lower back as much as possible. Then the rest of the body will follow. The shoulders eventually come around as well. Pull over the back shoulder. Pay attention to the seat. Make sure both sides of the seat are grounded. More breaths. Come up tall. Exhale. Go a little bit deeper. And then come back to face forward. Release the legs. Shake them out. Massage the ankles if you need to, or circle them. And then go to the other side. The right leg folds back this time, or take the modification with your knee in front. Bring the left knee in, and then pull the heel up to the height of the knee. Keep the chest with your thigh. Keep on raising the heart up. Imagine trying to get the heart higher than the knee, and vice versa. They're constantly just trying to outdo one another. And that way you just try to find the length. Pull the foot up if you like for Kranchasana. And rather than coming forward and hunching the back to try to make the forehead meet the shin, just try to pull the leg up higher and just wait for the release to come eventually. Through your attention, through your direction of your attention to those areas. Eventually you'll release. Then coming back, the heel in front of the knee, lean back a little bit so you can get the foot close to the hip where it needs to be to come into your lotus, or modify as you need to with your foot on the ground. Turn to the left arm snakes around the back. You can just press your hand into your thigh. If your foot's on the ground, you can't quite reach it with the bind. If you twist though, if you bring your hand forward with the other hand, you might be able to reach down and maybe even touch the foot, even if it's not on the hip. Okay? You might be able to turn the toes up a little bit. So just go according to your condition. Inhale, lift through the chest. Exhale, press into the outside of the left knee with the right hand and go a little bit deeper into the twist. Each breath, go a little bit deeper. Coming back to face forward. And release the legs, shake them out. Good. We're coming into our headstand now. Shirshasana. If you have a lotus but having trouble getting into lotus, easiest way I find is to bring one foot into the hip first. Place your arms down as you normally would. Make sure you can hold opposite elbows. Place your hands down, your forehead down, and then when you bring your head down, lift up your hip like you're doing a downward facing dog. Okay? And then from here, you lift up just high as you need to get the foot off the ground. Press the knee back, and just try to have it so that you can see your feet. So once your feet are out of view, it makes it harder to see what you're doing and to come into pose. So place your feet where you can see that they're just at the edge of your peripheral vision, and then you can bring your knees up. If you don't have a full lotus, just keep your legs straight. Okay, go ahead. If you need modification, teddy bear, take your hands down on the ground in front of the head so you can see them. Arms at a right angle. Move forward and just rest your shins against the elbows, so just underneath the knee. Eventually, if you press the shins into the hands into the ground, maybe lift one foot up, keep pressing into the ground with your hands, keep the tension and the strength in your arms, and lift the other toes up, and bingo, you're in a headstand of some sort. Okay, you can keep your feet on the ground, remember that. Now, concentrate on stillness, close the eyes if you feel comfortable. And meditate upon the space between the eyebrows. One pointed focus. Start to make your way down slowly with control. Press into your hands, keep your core active. If you're a headstand, just come down slowly. Tuck in if you need to, your legs into the body. So you come down lightly without a sound. And when you're ready, rest on the ground, rest in child's pose. Breathe in, breathe out, soften. And then roll your way up, find your way on your back. Legs extended. Breathe in. Exhale, imagine you're fainting. Relax everything. Arms beside your body, legs together. Bring the legs up straight. If you need to, you bend your knees. Okay, put your feet are above the hips, press into your arms, lift the seat up off the ground. Lower it back down slowly. Try not to land it with a big heavy thud. Come up a little bit higher next time. Press into your arms. Get most of the middle, half the back up off the mat. Next time, come up a little bit higher. So you're almost just on your shoulders. Again, lower down slowly. If this was all good, lift up again, same way. Bring your hands to your back. And then walk your elbows back behind your body. Keep the head straight. Try to find a straight line eventually with your toes in line with your chin. You can modify by not bring your feet up all the way. Bend your body's bent a little bit. You're more like a pike and your feet are over the head. Your hips are back. Okay, if that's easier for you, that's fine. All good. Otherwise, if it's still too much, just sit on your hands with your legs straight up. So go ahead into the pose if you're not already there. If you want to lotus, to come into lotus, and make sure you can do a full lotus, not just half.
If you're trying to struggling getting to lotus, you need to bring your knees a little bit more over the head first, and then you can use your hands to help you to get your feet into the right position. Once you're in a pose, stay in a pose. Try to be still as possible. The mother of all poses has all the same benefits as a headstand. Concentrate on the space between the eyebrows. Stand supreme. Without changing your focus, without disrupting your attention. Halasana. If you have the lotus, keep your lotus, bring your lotus onto your body. Pindasana. You're in plow pose, you can drop your thighs against the body and bring your knees on either side of the head. Practice even with further withdrawal from your senses. Now getting ready to come out. If you're in plow pose, bring your arms on the ground behind the back, and your lotus, that's that same thing as well. Lower your back down bit by bit. Try not to come down again heavily. Press into the arms and just allow the legs to stay close to the body as they come down to the ground. Once you're down on the ground, take a deep breath in. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Relax. Fish pose. Bring the elbows right beside the body. So they're hugging the waist, the rib basket. Fingers pointing up, legs together and charge. Press into the elbows, lift up the chest from the ground, arch the back. In other words, and you can get the top of the head back down. From here, you can stay here. If you're more, if you're strong, you can raise your legs 12 inches off the mat. If you want to go to flying fish, your arms come in front of the legs with your hands together. The legs and the arms are parallel. And now breathe very fast through the nose like a panting puppy. Lower out of the pose, bring the legs down, arms down, press into the elbows. You can take your head out nice and softly. Breathe in, breathe out, all fatigue. Send your feet close to the seat again, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Options here as well. Bring your feet at least the width of the, ideally the width of the height of the hips. If you need more, you can walk your feet out a little bit further. Bring your fingertips on either side of the head, fingers facing away, elbows facing up. Lift the back up off the mat, the seat, and then press into your fingertips, drag your head back so your head's behind the hands and the hands in front, and then flip your hands around. Fingers facing towards the toes, fingers facing slightly outwards, not to 90 degrees, not to 90 degrees of course, but just a little bit angled so your elbows can stay in. Feel free to stay here. If you want, you can then take your head up off the ground and then play a little bit here. Come onto the toes and just really stretch the body. If you know other variations, go ahead and try them. Talking mostly to advanced practitioners here. If you know other variations like drop backs or jumping from one side to the other, go ahead.
Others, just concentrate on where you're at and where you find the comfort and your comfortable edge where you're challenging yourself but not to the point where you go to pain. If you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana, stay a little bit longer. Practice fortitude, steadfast determination. And this is how you make progress. Start to make your way down now. Rest. Legs extended, arms extended. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Once again, imagine you're fainting. And out. Okay, so from here, raise the arms up over the head. Come to seated position or modify. Find your way up another way. Boat pose. Bring your knees up close to the chest. Tilt back so you can bring your feet up off the ground. Keep your shins level with the ground or straight up. And then bring your arms out to the side if you like. Or hold on to the backs and knees. Now, Bhastrika breath again. And from here, bend your knees. So you can take your two piece fingers around the big toes. Either hold the knees against the body and your heels at the same height as the knees, or extend straight up. Press with the base of the toes. You're more flexible. Try to bring your legs right up against your nose. Try to make your body meet your legs. Good. Now from here, we're going to roll back onto back. Just watch for a moment. Pull the breath out. Come back up. Try not to bend your knees. Do this 3 times. Each time you stop, hold it for a second or so, and then come back again. Okay? So give it a try. Don't make it, don't worry about it. Just play, be like a child. Don't take things too seriously. All right? Do this a couple more times. Roll, hold the breath out. Helps. And then coming back up. One more time. Good. Place the heels down on the ground. Let go of the toes. Bench pose. Create fullness in the back body by just letting the belly button drop towards the lower back. And then lift up the hips. Try not to sag through the hips. Keep your hips high. Shoulders at the height of the knees. Head back if it's not too uncomfortable. And then again, Bhastrika breath. Keep going for those who are in bench pose. If that was too much on your wrist, keep your seat on the ground and heart lifted, and you can continue to do Bhastrika breath. So keep going if you're in bench pose. Lower the seat down. Hug the legs to the body. Breathe in, and slowly breathe out. So allow the body just lose all attention. Slide your feet forward, Paschimottanasana. If you have tight hamstrings, you stay with me. You hug the body to the legs and just keep on working and trying to get your chest to come forward towards the knees. And then as you exhale, just pour more weight into the legs. If you're more flexible, don't waste your time. Just allow your legs to extend, keep your body with your legs. Aim at getting the head to eventually touch the tops of the feet. If you want, bend the toes back. Press your hands into the tops of the toes. And see if your forehead will reach the wrists. And exhale, melt onto your legs. Now take the attention to the base of the spine. If you concentrate hard on that area, you might be able to imagine that there's energy sitting at the base of the spine. You might feel it throbbing. And imagine that that energy is just trying to release and come all the way up through the body. Visualize. Use your imagination. The more imagination you have, the more you can realize in your visions and your dreams, in your goals. One more breath. Telescope the chest forward. Exhale, pour more weight into the legs. And coming back up. Purvottanasana or bench pose again. If you're doing Purvottanasana, bend the knees, dig into the heels, and then press up. Roll the thighs in so you can get the toes on the ground. If your toes are up, your hips are going to come low, and it's going to be harder to keep the pose. So press your toes down, lift the hips, send the chest up higher than the shoulders. Bastrika. Bench is an option, remember. Lower the seat down. From here, sit upright. Left hand to the outside of the right shin, right hand just behind the back. Down the center of the back. Inhale, push the lower back in. Exhale, turn the body to the right. Keep your shoulders in line with the long edge of the mat. Make sure your heels are together, not one behind the other. Both sides of seat grounded. Look beyond your right shoulder. Again, initiate the twist from the base, from the hips. Come back to face forward, go the other way. Left hand right against the center of the seat. Right hand to the outside of the left shin, not on the hip. Lower down. Inhale, press the lower back in. Exhale, turn to the left. Each time you inhale, come up higher. Each time you exhale, go a little bit deeper into the rotation. Keep the shoulders back. Come back to face forward, lie on the back. Ease your way down. Getting ready for Shavasana now. Take whatever you need to, another layer perhaps to keep yourself warm. And then just settle now into stillness. Allow the body to be nice and still. Close the eyes. Imagine a deserted beach. Imagine the waves rolling onto the sand. And as the wave moves out, it clears the sand so that the surface is completely smooth. It takes all of the debris with it. Same type of visualization in your own body. Imagine a wave of heaviness coming into the body, pushing into it, gently pushing into it, all the energy and all the love and all the gifts that we accumulated through the practice here that we pulled together. Bring it all into the body, to every part of you. And as a wave moves out, it removes everything that you don't need. Negativity, illness, sickness, anything like that. And it leaves the body completely in a state of surrender, able to receive everything to the fullest extent. Observe the body, as always, the witness, without any judgment. Just looking upon your body with complete unconditional love.
slowly now, start to find your way back from Shavasana. Bring the awareness to the breath, starting to feel it animating the body. Feel the fingers, the toes, letting them come back to life. Rest the body, gradually awakening the limbs, the arms, the trunk of the body, the face, the vital forces and the organs that drive the body. And then make ready to sit up again in Shavasana, as we did at the beginning of the class, tall and supreme. Move in a way that is mindful, that is reverent, that is still quiet. We're going to now do some pranayama, alternate nostril breathing with breath retention. We'll do 3, 12, 6 for the ratio, 3 on the in-breath, 12 on the hold, and 6 on the exhale. So to come into this alternate nostril breathing, you bring your left hand into chin mudra, the thumb at the base of the index finger, at the base of the thumb of the left hand, placed on the left knee. The right hand in Vishnu mudra. Second, third fingers fold down. If it's too difficult to do, you can just keep them on the forehead, as long as they're not touching the nose. It's the thumb that controls the passage through the right nostril, the right ring finger through the left side. Okay, so to enable the channels, you just you press the other one closed, and then you allow the breath to pass through, and then you switch. On the hold, the breath retention, you contract the muscles of the perineum, the root muscles, pull them up towards the navel, so there's tension there. And you bring the chin onto the chest, you bring the chest up high, chin right against it, and the tongue behind the teeth to the upper palate. And you bring the attention to the third eye. That's during the holds. Okay? So let's give it a try. Just watch me at the beginning, and when you feel comfortable, you can do it on your own. So sitting up tall and straight, take a deep breath in first through both nostrils, exhale, breathe out through both nostrils, empty the lungs. Close off the right side with the right thumb. Inhale through the left. 2, 3. Hold the breath. Plug both sides of the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Breathe out through the right. Release the thumb. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the right away. 3. Close both sides of the nose. Third eye focus. Chin on the chest and engage the root lock. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Release the left side. 2. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the left. 2, 3. Hold the breath. Sit up tall. Contract the throat to the root muscles. Tongue behind the teeth. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the right. Big breath in. Hold the breath. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left. Release the locks. 2, 3. Inhale to the left. Hold. Watch the space between the eyebrows, throat and root tightly locked. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale to the right. Holding the breath. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale left. Hold the breath for 12. Keep the breathing steady, the rhythm steady. Exhale through the right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the right. 3,
3, hold for 12. Chin on the chest, remember? Exhale, feel left, release the locks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale left. Holding. Concentrate on the third eye. Exhale, right. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, right. Holding. 10, 11, 12. Exhale through the right, left I should say. Last time, inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale right. 3, hold for 12. Exhale left. Right hand down. Massage your knees if you need to, or your feet. And then when you're ready, bring them back. Come back into your meditation pose. Just a few moments of meditation. Hands, both hands in chin mudra on the knees. Sitting up tall. Close the eyes or just gaze beyond the tip of the nose with your eyes just barely open. Back is straight. Study of the self. Just watch the mind activity without any effort to process those thoughts, to have no judgment as to what passes through the mind, what emotions arise. Just be the witness who is undisturbed by all. As through this process, through the practice of this, being the witness, that we eventually learn the ability to not be affected by the suffering or the pain of the situations that we are in. For everything is perfect, and everything happens exactly in the perfect way that allows us to grow spiritually in our right time. Just trust in that. You're a conduit. All the love and peace and everything that comes in is the result of us being all connected through that divine connection that we share, that portion of God that resides in each and every one of us. So now, all the love that comes in through our actions, thoughts, and words goes out to all beings as well. Continuous exchange of these gifts. And remain grateful and humble as a result of this. Om Shanti.
Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the practice. Have a great day.